we blowing nose, let the smoke down. Inhaling, exhaling with no hands. I go to Asher, hit my gold chains. My eyes be Asian, but I'm so French. Roll up the sticky parrot with some sushi. Write verses on my phone and dish the loosely. I just light it up like Snoop and Lil Tunechi. Sip gin and juice, so now I'm chillin' loosely. Cause I love pot. All my homies know how to roll, call them dudes, and they grow my stack. I'm a grower and a shower, ask your girl, I bet she knows my spot. She like a green and we got it, you ain't got it, homie. Oh my God, oh my squad, but I love pot. All my homies know how to roll, call them dudes, and they grow my stack. I'm a grower and a shower, ask your girl, I bet she knows my spot. She like a green and we got it, you ain't got it, homie. Oh my God, oh my squad, yeah. I just want a baddie and a little mixture. Like 50,000 likes on all the pictures. I want an ounce of butter, fifth of liquor. To take this broad into the fifth dimension. I mentioned a little birdie tweeted, we gon' hit this. So is this the butter? Her eye isn't listening. I wish that I could post an image while I hit that. But in fact, I don't want the world up in my business. Cause
well, that ruined the intro. Welcome back. Oh, yeah. Guess what day it is? Guess what time it is? It's 11 a.m., Tuesday, March 10th. You're watching One More Round Fights. It's TKO Tuesday, baby. You know what we do on these days. Oh, yeah. And we have a fat slate of KOs for you guys. They're not the best KOs, I must admit. Not a lot of shakeups in the top 10s, in my opinion. You guys tell me what you think in the comments. It is what it is. But yeah, it's TKO Tuesday, baby. I'm the host of this here channel. If you don't know, now you know. I'm Gaff. I do this shit every single day of the week. I give you guys TKO Tuesdays, matchup, Monday matchmaker, hump day on Wednesdays, CP units on Fridays, watch alongs on Saturdays, live chats on Sundays, cut downs throughout the week. I keep you guys involved in the combat sports fight sphere all the way around, baby. Oh, yeah. So please, if you could be so kind, subscribe to the channel. That QR code right there, if you scan that with your second device that's handy nearby, probably your phone if you're watching this on your laptop or your TV, connected device, scan that QR code. It'll subscribe you to the channel on YouTube. It'll join you to the family. And when I tell you, the second you hit that subscribe, your life changes for the better, I'm not kidding, brother. I mean, you're going to hit that subscribe. You're going to turn around. You're going to put on some new jeans when you go out later. You're going to be like, holy crap, I found $20. Wow. Then you're going to get in your car and that sound that you've been hearing for so long, it just went away out of nowhere. You're like, oh, wow, it's great. The car sounds like it's fixed. Things are just going to turn around for the better, man. I'm telling you, subscribe to the channel. It'll change your life. All right. Don't forget to follow on social. One More Round Fights everywhere except for X. It's One More Round F8. Fuck you, Elon. You have a character limit on X, and me and you have beef because of it. The day you change that is the day we become friends again. But X, you have a character limit on names, and I can't have One More Round Fights, and I'm upset. And I'm upset about it, and I'm rightfully so. Okay. Don't forget to follow Main Card Minute. You can catch me putting belt to ass over there. All right. Catch me putting belt to ass, kicking ass, taking names. Check the record. It'll only prove that I'm right, baby. All right. Prop quiz. I'm the king. I'm the captain now. All right. Main Card Minute. Don't forget to scan that QR code right there. That's my dog right there, Luke. You can catch him on Morning Combat. You can catch him on Main Card Minute. You can catch him giving plus money bets. You know what I mean? All right. And just for housekeeping purposes, Main Card Minute on your left, one more round fights on your right. Let's bring in the chat. Chat, hey. What's going on? Kevmo, you got a little change in the name? What's going on? Let's go. 10 minutes late Tuesday. You already know, baby. That's how we rock. One more round fights. Cosmo Alexander says me rocket. Remember Cosmo Alexander? Oh, man. Shout out to our boy Sage Northcutt. Cosmo with the smoke emojis. You already know how we start this shit off, baby. Octopus says, I was literally finishing a rip as I clicked. That's right, baby. Gotta get a little zooted to get started here. You know what's going down. Smoke Octopus says, me rocket says ripping is haram. No, it's not. No, it's not. You know it's not. All right. Manich in the house with the Dakota emojis. You know that's our girl. Dakotas, we support Dakotas over here. One more round fights. Dakotas of all iterations. Okay. Even Dak Prescott. Bro, did you watch Zuffa 3? It was actually an amazing card of fights. Zuffa 4, you mean, Meat Rocket? Zuffa 3 was a couple weeks ago with Agbeko. I believe if it wasn't Agbeko, it was some other name. And then Zuffa 4 was with Opataya. But yeah, I did catch both of them. Solid fights on there. A lot of decisions, but still great fights on there. Some wars. And then only 2 KOs on the card. But, you know, solid cards. Zuffa Boxing been showing out these past couple of weeks. First 2 cards, I was like, yeah. Last 2 cards, turn me around right there. It's like that meme where you're like, first you're like, and you're like, you're like, yeah. Rip BMF belt. Yeah, kill that shit, bro. I'm done with it. Kill that BMF belt. Me Rocket also says BMF has only begun. But Bilal will be fighting for the BMF next. We will have really lost the plot if Bilal gets a BMF title shot, bro. Cosmo Kramer says, what's the odds of the UFC releasing John Jones plus 10,000? That is some news this morning. John Jones calling for his release. If the UFC thinks he's, you know, past his prime because of the whole hip thing and the running thing, and he's really starting to crash out over this not being involved in this UFC White House card. We're starting to see that. God bless the state of Arizona for the next 6 months, let's say. You know what? 4. Let's say 4. God bless the state of Arizona for the next 4 months. It's going to be terrifying, to say the least. Kevmo. I keep saying I keep adding the code. Kevmo. At me Rocket Brundage versus Bilal for the BMF next. Jones is still in his prime. He's not leaving anytime soon. And even if he wanted to, even if he tried to, you can bet your sweet ass, your mama's ass, your cousin's ass, your sister's ass, your stepsister's ass, your sister-in-law's ass, your mother-in-law's ass, your great-grandma, your great-great. Bet everybody's ass that the UFC's got his ass locked up with some verbiage in that contract where you ain't going nowhere, Mr. Jones. You ain't going nowhere. Try it. Our lawyers are really good, and we have Ari Emanuel in our wings. That is a bad idea. That's all I'm saying. I mean, that's probably why he's crashing out so bad. He knows he's locked up right now, and he's like, fuck, they got my balls in a vice grip. I can't do shit. Man, shout out to my dog, John Jones. I should have wore a John Jones shirt for the stream. Instead, I wore Mike Tyson because we got so many boxing knockouts and some shakeup in the boxing knockouts list. All right. Bro, that would be a crazy banger. Below would piece up Cody with his Canelo hands. Stop me, Rocket. Dakota Fanning, support. We support all Dakotas here at One More Round Fights. All right. Lazy Bed says, Lazy is here, the knower of things. Sir Lazy Bed, thank you for bestowing your presence upon us. Appreciate it. Meat Rocket says, bro, Zuffa production has to be the best in boxing right now. They're doing a great job fight after fight. No slow bullshit. That's what they do, man. That's what we're accustomed to with the UFC. We're accustomed to great broadcasts, fantastic production, and they've essentially just copied and pasted with some new graphics and have provided amazing boxing broadcasts for us. So I'm very happy with the UFC product that Zuffa Boxing has become. Octopus says, ew. And then Kemo says, I was LT's commode, but my family has YouTube on the TV and all my in-laws watched my wife put on music with it, and all of them thought I was weird as fuck for having a name like that and a toilet bag. That's so good. I didn't know you were LT's commode. That's actually so fucking funny. They're like, who the fuck why are you a toilet? What is going on? And you're like, nothing, man. I just have this online thing that I do. Oh, that's good. Octopus is cracking up too. But what we came here to do is go over the KOs of the week, y'all. And we have a lot to go over. Now, before we start with our KOs of the week, there's a couple things we got to look at. First, we're going to take a look at our MMA KOs and take a look at our MMA KOs lists, adjustments, all that. Then we're going to look at our boxing ones, okay? Then based off the research, we're going to look at a couple KO props that we might have cooking for this weekend's fights. All right. I see some boxing ones. The MMA ones are a little iffier to come by. All right. Just a little bit. But we're going to take a look at the card. We're going to look at everybody's TKO ratios. We're going to formulate a nice little TKO prop for the UFC card, as well as the boxing cards. We have Arnold Barboza Jr., Kenneth Sims Jr., James Dickens versus Anthony Cacace. We had Opatai Glanton. Our knockout prop didn't go well there. It's okay. That parlay had already died. It is what it is. Okay. And we gave out the 1 through 6 or decision prop anyways. So we move on. And here are our best knockouts of the year thus far in MMA. Okay. Now we had a top 10 list last week, and this is the same top 10 list from last week. We haven't made our adjustments yet. We still got to look at the KOs before we make our changes. All right, but here are the top 10 knockouts in MMA as we have them thus far. Mauricio Hufi taking out Fazeev in round 2. Melky Costa taking out Dan Ige with the spinning kick in round 1. Nikolai Vretnikov beautifully knocking out Tico Price up against the cage. Taylor Lapilus taking out Kasim Kasimov in the PFL. Kichiro Nakamura winning road to UFC with his knockout in the last seconds, taking out Sebastian Zulai, round 3. Uros Medic beautifully knocking out Jeff Neal with a combination last week, round 1. Damian Pettis also putting out a nice knockout a couple weeks ago. Maybe that was last week. Taking out Wesley Schultz via TKO, round 1. Sean Strickland with a beautiful KO, bringing up a surprise KO for us in a featured spot, knocking out Anthony Hernandez in round 3, 2 minutes and 23 seconds. Bobby King Green defeating Daniel Zellhuber by TKO, round 2, 4 minutes and 55 seconds. Vintage Bobby Green getting pulled out. And the fuck you KO. There's arguments over whether this should still be in our top 10, but it's Josh Hokett taking out Denzel Freeman via TKO punches, round 1, 4 minutes and 59 seconds. Yes, that KO did have stop points, but does it deserve to still be in our top 10? Find out by the end of the stream, won't we? First, we'll go with our KOs from UFC 326. And guess what, guys? It happened again. It happened again. The guy that does what we don't think that he's going to do, but we think he's going to do, and he does do it every time. He did it again. Drew Dober knocks out our guy, Michael Johnson, via TKO punches, round 2, 1 minute and 52 seconds. This was brutal, absolutely brutal, but we're going to go ahead and take ourselves a look at this beautiful setup KO by our boy Drew Dober. I mean, Gadoosh right across that chin. Oh, it was over right there. There was no follow-up strikes needed. Look at him flop. No follow-up strikes needed, but he landed a nice glancing blow. Let's get a little slow-mo action of that. Oh, Lord. Look at the spit fly. Oh, Lord. Drew, you say you don't do this shit, but then you do this shit, bro. I don't know what to believe anymore, man. I don't know. Maybe it's let's not say happy. Let's say this is a coincidence, but this is a damning coincidence, my man. Nah, I'm joking. All jokes aside, Drew Dober's just out here doing his job. He goes out there and tries to knock out his opponent every single time. Okay, regardless of who the opponent is, regardless of how they look, it's Drew Dober, man. Drew Dober goes out there, he tries to KO people, he tries to put fools out, separate them from their senses, and this was no different. Okay, so just because Michael Johnson happened to be colored, it doesn't mean that Drew Dober was specifically going for the knockout on him. But this was an exchange that happened, between the two. It didn't look like, even Michael Johnson said he don't mean damage, but he knows he's trying to hurt him, And he said not this motherfucker, but yeah, he got this motherfucker. Dan Dober's shout out says lazy bet. How could you not have Patchy Mix on that list? Me, Rocka, we haven't gone over the KOs of this week yet. The list will change by the time we look at these last KOs in MMA this week. We have 2 cards to look at. We have UFC 326 and we have RIZIN. Okay. I don't know if the Patchy Mix KO will join the list. Maybe it's an honorable mention. I mean, it was a nice KO, but it was kind of like we got to actually look at the KO. This is the KO. I know it started in round 1 and it was nice, but we have a couple. We have one that might even beat the Patchy Mix soccer kick KOs, man. I mean, RIZIN had some KOs, bro. But specifically talking about 326, I mean, the implications, like you said, Drew Dober, Nebraska's finest. That cornfed man ain't beating the allegations. And Gav Dober's genetic memory kicks in and his mind locks in on defending his tribe from the others. LT's Komodo is an intensely offensive username. No, I keep forgetting it's Meat Rocket. I have to take everything he says with a grain of salt. And then Cosmo says, Drew Dober versus Jalen Turner to actually test our hypothesis. That's not a bad matchup. We're matchmaking over here. But all right, we had a couple more KOs from UFC 326, and it wasn't in our BMF fight. I know you're hoping that it was. It wasn't. But shout out to our boy Gregory Rodriguez. Greg Rodriguez, as I like to call him, but Gregory Rodriguez knocks out Bruno Ferreira and gets his revenge with a punch in round 1, 1 minute and 47 seconds. And let's go ahead and check out this knockout, shall we? I mean, oh no, they took it away. All right, that's fine. It's okay. We can't get the Gregory Rodriguez KO. It's not joining our list anyways. Let me see if I could get it for you real quick. Oh, shit. Did I accidentally get it for you? Hold on. Oh, I can't. Not on this computer. It is what it is. All right, moving on. Rodolfo Bellato defeats Luke Fernandez via KO. Round 1, 2 minutes and 42 seconds. Let's hope this link stayed around. They go as they go, man. All we can do is hope that the KOs stay, but sometimes social media, sometimes the UFC catches them, and you can't always get what you want. All right, we all know this. Everybody knows that song. But here's the Luke Fernandez, Rodolfo Bellato.
Oh, he tagged him. Got him with a beautiful left hook. Oh, ground strikes now.
Oh, Lord. Luke Fernandez, why? Killed half my bets on the night. And then the disrespectful but respectful bow from Rodolfo Bellato at the end of that. Like, come on, bro. Why you got to do me like that? Why you gotta do me that? He was winning that fight, by the way. Luke Fernandez was winning, putting hands on Rodolfo Bellato, had him bloodied, bruised, almost out of there, and then this uppercut lands in the exchange, and then that's the end of the fight right there. Luke Fernandez prospect goes from undefeated to not undefeated anymore. And if you want to take further examination of that, look no further than my screen here. I mean, that uppercut. Did you see him drop from the uppercut? Oh, Adolfo, why? Why? He was so young. Luke, he is your father. Oh, yeah. I mean, that was tough. Rocket says it's just grounded knees in soccer because it makes it look awesome because we don't get those in the West. Maybe it'll find its way into the list. Maybe. It's crazy. RoboCop got the perfect revenge on Bruno. Both KOs looked almost exactly the same. Yeah, one from the left, one from the right. Great call, Rocket. And Octopus says salted meat rock is out of pocket. Great bet in, lock it, and keep your fingers on the wall socket. I'll stop. Meaty, you are correct. It's hilarious. And then the uppercut was the only good punch, though. Anything else was schoolgirl punches. Yeah, that's fair, Octopus. That's fair. But Rodolfo Bellato got the win, and he's gonna get himself a solid matchup next. I mean, you do that on a numbered event card, they're gonna keep your name in their presence. So shout out to Rodolfo Bellato, however you want to call it. He got himself a beautiful KO, but I mean, guys, let's not forget that this is the same freaking guy that was doing this shit, man. He gets the KO and does a beautiful bow and all that shit. But this is the same guy that was out here wrestling referees, bro. Remember this? Against Paul Craig. So don't forget, he may have pulled this off against Luke Fernandez, but he's out here conscious, still grappling the referee. All right, this can still happen to this man. Luke Fernandez was supposed to do this to him. All right, he's out here grappling. Look at, he kicks off at the referee. All right, that's that guy. So don't forget. All right, that's what I'm just trying to present to you guys. I know he did that to Luke Fernandez, but don't forget. All right, most of those guys that we just showed got performance of the night bonuses. Drew Dober got one. Gregory Rodriguez, we didn't get to show him, but he got one. Rodolfo Bellato got one. The only one we didn't show is Alberto Montes, which we will be showing him tomorrow on Hump Day for his beautiful submission of Ricky Terzios. So, yes, those were the Fight Night bonuses, and those were all the knockouts from UFC 326. I hope you enjoyed them. But the real reason we're here for our MMA knockouts, just kidding. Maybe to join the list, maybe we'll have a snub this week, and maybe we'll have some arguments in the comments in the chat, and we might have to add them to the list next week. But here are our RIZIN 52 knockouts, and boy, were there a lot. RIZIN was kicking, and let me tell you, shout out to our boy Patchy Mix. I mean, you would have thought he would have got the win here. It didn't go his way. And let me show you some of the things that didn't go his way in this fight. I mean, first, let's show round one. Our boy Patchy. It didn't go his way this week. But Kiyoma Akimoto just look at it. Oh no. And it gets worse. Oh no. This is round one, by the way. This wasn't even the finish. Okay, this wasn't even the finish. This is the end of round one. Look at that. Just, oh no. And then more kicks are coming. Oh no. Patchy. No, Patchy, no. Patchy. Oh, Patchy, no. No, Patchy. And that's the end of the round. That was round one. He somehow didn't get finished there. Yeah, believe it or not, he did not get finished there. This is the sequence in which Patchy Mix gets finished. Yeah. Let's watch it again. No. No. I can't even watch it a third time, brother. I got to get that up out of here. I got to. That was crazy. Oh, my Lord. Patchy, I'm sorry, brother. You had to take some abuse there. My Lord. Shout out to Kiyoma Akimoto, though. Former opponent on this card had a decent fight, but, you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. But shout out to Kiyoma Akimoto. Shout out to Patchy Mix. Kiyoma Akimoto wins that fight by TKO, punching soccer kicks, round 2. Yeah. Another nice knockout from that card. Luis Gustavo, I told you guys about this when we talked in the live chat. Luis Gustavo takes out Tassy Sakuraba via KO, round 2. Another round 2 KO here, and deserving. I don't know if it's going to join our top 10 list as well. This one is pretty iffy for me. It looked pretty nice to start, but, you know, all knockouts look pretty nice to start, don't they? Here we go. Oh, right hand over the top, and then finishing with 2 big overhands. My Lord, were those necessary, brother? Ref was running in. Were those necessary, brother? Look at that. The shovel uppercut, and then the That's another one I can't show too many times. My Lord, Kiyoma Akimoto, what are we doing, brother? Just hurting people badly. My Lord, what a knockout for him. But shout out to him taking out Sakuraba there. We had another knockout that we won't show, but we'll talk about. Ryo Takagi defeats Shuya Kimura via TKO doctor stoppage, round 1, 5 minutes. We just had to mention that one. It was a knockout that took place, but since it was a doctor stoppage, you know, we don't like those to join our lists. We don't like showing those because it's just blood and gore. And we don't really need that on this programming. We just want to see some beautiful knockouts, some martial arts taking place in its most beautiful form, in my opinion. All right. So Yuki Ito takes out Carlos Mato via TKO punches, round 1. That's our next one we got to show. This one I think is a longer clip that I might have to siphon through a little bit, but I mean, let's show it. Let's show it. Give the people what they want. Ooh, head kick and to the left straight. I mean, didn't waste any time, did he? And then left. And then he's like, the left isn't working. Let me switch to the right. And then puts him out. Shout out to Yuki Ito. Oh, let's watch it again. Oh. And then the lefts, he's like, left. Wait, I have a right hand. Let me use it. Bow. First right hand he puts on him, takes him out. First right hand he puts on him, takes him out. What a knockout shot landed from Yuki Ito. I would not want to be his opponent in the coming year. Shout out to the next knockout. We won't show it as well, but it was a doctor stoppage as well. Kim Kyung-po defeats Yusuke Aichi via TKO. Doctor stoppage with a cut, round 2. We won't be showing it, but we will show the Tony Laramie KO. Shout out to Tony Laramie. He defeats Tataki Soya via KO, round 3. This was a slow burn, but my man eventually gets the finish. Now, this was the main reason I wanted to show this KO. I mean, this sequence goes hard in the paint. Check it out. Check out this sequence. Oh, yeah? You want to throw your little 1-2? Dip off? Gidoosh. Left high kick. Oh, man. Oh, I'm using the wrong mouse. I'm tripping. Spinning back kick. So that was just a sequence in the fight. That was some of the carnage that was going on in this fight, right? Tony Laramie showing some glimpses of brilliance, showing some spinning back kicks, some dips off to the side, showing some uppercuts. He's showing a lot of wrinkles to his game, right? Yeah? Well, here's the KO from my guy. Look at this sequence. It's a little stop action. It's not because of me. It's just how the clip is. Oh, Tony Laramie just overwhelms him at this point, doing everything he can to finish this fight. And the referee's getting closer. And then he gives up his back, and that's when the referee has to stop it. But shout out to Tony Laramie. That knockout needed to be talked about. I'm not showing that stop action shit again, but that's the only clip on the internet I could find of it, guys. That's all I could do. So I'm sorry, but I found it. It is what it is. Had to be shown. And the knockout that I thought should even be considered over the Kiyoma Akimoto versus Patchy Mix knockout. This is my best knockout of the RIZIN card. Tell me what you think about it. This was Lee Jung-hyun defeating Joe Arai via TKO, round 3. Yo, this knockout, brutal. in my opinion. This might not, this was a knockout, but it didn't happen all at once. Check this brutal ass knockout out. My Lord. It didn't start off as, look at his head kick to kick it off, right? Look at his head kick to kick it off. And then look at this shit. Oh. He's just eating, and then he eats more, dude. Look at this. He almost tried to knee him through the ropes there. And then he finishes him off with this right here. Look at him. He's fucking showboating out here. Showboat, knees to the body even. How is he surviving? He's wobbly, laying in left hooks. And then the ref decides to step in. Brother, look at these knees again. These knees were hellacious. Hellacious. Look at this. Falls down and then, oh yeah, boom, 1, 2, 3. Just Pez dispensering this man in the corner. And then gets him with some uppercuts and then some more for good measure. And then almost catches him through the ropes. My Lord. If you like the Patchy Mix knockout, you had to have at least liked that one as well. That was brutal. That was brutal. That is, I don't know if it's going to join my top 10. It's definitely joining the honorable mention list. But that was brutal, dude. I forget sometimes in RIZIN and 1 that they have the ability to use knees and kicks while they're downed. Huh. And those were the RIZIN knockouts from Akimoto versus Mix. What the hell? Oh, man. Was Patchy the favorite in that fight? Yes, he was. He was a big favorite. He was a minus 400 favorite. He was a minus 400 favorite. Yeah. I said to my son, we should watch the main event. Max Charles, there's no way it'll be boring. Then I felt invisible eyes of MMA gods upon me, rumbling underground, and time shifted. Timeline shifted. Yeah, bro, it's crazy. I literally said Bellato has a milk jug head. Fernandez can't miss. That's crazy. That's crazy. One of the only bets I hit was my Charles bets. I had 3 various Charles bets, and they all hit. Lazy says I was incredibly wrong. I feel so bad for Fernandez. I was talking to John Morgan on Friday and hyping him up because Luke was CFFC champ. Morgan didn't want to get too excited, and I basically guaranteed a W. Ouch. Ouch, ouch, ouch. RIZIN had the best event of the weekend, as usual, says Lazy Bed. Japanese MMA, the only thing keeping my fandom alive. Yeah, they got some bangers on there, man. That was a really good card. Underrated as fuck. Really good card. Shout out to RIZIN. No exaggeration. That's what we have happened. What have we done, Lazy? We're messing with fate. Getting, says Octopus, and Cosmos says, getting beat like he stole something. The ropes make it too brutal, make it more brutal somehow, right? The one that missed made it the most brutal somehow. I know what you mean. It was like, bro, if that landed, that definitely would have been the fight ender. Best part is that kid. That kid is 19. Yeah, Akimoto is 19. Yo, that was crazy. I just had to watch it again. Shovel uppercut is crazy work in MMA, right? Poor John Sweeney got destroyed and should have been TKO'd, but then got subbed. I thought about showing that one, but that's gonna be a hump day. Was Patchy the favorite in this? Oh yeah, I said that. Yes, he was. Big favorite. Meaty Dr. Stoppage. My girl Kate Lotus played the Max Holloway to her 4'11 opponents. Charles Oliveira. Sad spinning back mullet. That's crazy. Big dude's a big favorite. Gets obliterated by some nude teenage kid. Gorgeous. There's a compilation of all the RIZIN finishes on every event on YouTube. They usually get all the posts on Twitter taken down. Oh, that's why. That commentator from RIZIN, Michael Chevalier, uses to do Dream K1. He's always yelling like crazy. It's over. It's over. It's over. Sheesh. It's all over. It's all over. Can't wait for the Jay Jones knockout. LOL. Good night, Irene. That knee missed through the ropes, would have decapitated him, and then heads flying like soccer ball into the crowd. Yeah, bro, there's a lot of knockouts here. So those were all our MMA knockouts, and taking a look at the MMA knockouts list, you might be disappointed. Tell me what you think. These were the knockouts. Let me take the comments down. These were the knockouts we had last week. Not too much shakeup on the list this week, though. Not too much shakeup on the list this week. We only have Drew Dober entering the top 10 list and knocking out Josh Hokett. So we have the Drew Dober defeats Michael Johnson via TKO punches round 2, 1 minute and 42 seconds, joining down at the 10 spot. And Josh Hokett is bumped from the top 10 knockouts of 2026 list. I haven't included the RIZIN ones, as you can see. But let me know in the comments if you think any of these knockouts should be removed so one of these RIZIN knockouts can be added. Okay? And those are our MMA knockouts of this 2026. I could be wrong. I could be right. It is what it is. That's my list, you know. But now we got to talk about our boxing knockouts. We had a bunch of boxing knockouts as well. Don't you forget. Okay. Now let's look at these top 10 knockouts in boxing of 2026. Looking at our list from last week, let's quickly take a look and see who our top 10 is. Brandon Figueroa defeating Nick Ball via 12th round KO in the 1 spot. Bruce Carrington defeating Carlos Castro via 9th round KO in the 2 spot. Dalton Smith defeating Subriel Matias by 5th round TKO in the 3 spot. Lorenzo Parro defeating Elijah Pierce. I forgot to change that graphic via 2nd round KO in the 4 spot. Bektemir Mekaluzia defeating Sena Agbeko via 7th round KO in the 5 spot. Keyshawn Davis defeating Jermaine Ortiz via 12th round KO in the 6th spot. David Allen beating Karim Barajem in the 1st round KO. Muhammad Alakel defeating David Calabaro in the 2nd round. Leo Ateng defeating Dan Garber via 1st round TKO, and Danielle Perkins holding it down for the ladies, defeating Shay Canali via 6th round TKO. Will she be the only lady holding it down in the boxing list top 10? I don't know. Maybe we'll have some misses this week. Maybe we're going to have to adjust, come back next week with some adjustments like we did this week. It is what it is. Maybe we'll see. But first, we'll talk about our boxing KOs. Let's talk about Misfits. Does Misfits deserve to be the list? Do we consider this legit on the level of our DAZN, our Ben Whitaker cards, our Gavazzi Whitaker cards, our Warrington Wood cards? Do we put it on that level? Does it deserve to join the list on that level? Those are the questions that I fought with this week and seeing if it deserved to join the top 10. But nevertheless, we have Misfits Duel 2 KOs to show, baby. Let's get into it. First, we have Waleed Sharks taking out Argentinian King by round 2 KO. Let's show it, baby. I mean, just barrage up against these ropes. Look at that right hook to the body. And then he says, oh, you got a little punches coming back? Let me push you back a little bit. Let me push you back a little bit. Okay, here we go. Jab, 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 jab. Big cross. Big overhead. Let's end this shit, ref. What a setup. What a setup, Waleed Sharks. Look at him. Can't even get up. He's like, what the fuck? My legs don't work. And then the referee calls it off. I mean, what an overhand. Where did he learn that? Waleed Sharks. Me Rocket says you should have put Lena's at number 1 just because of his name value. You mean penis? You said Lena's. And then, the faceplant from Misfits. And then Misfits gave us cartoon-like knockouts, so I think so. Fun, entertaining clips, says Cosmo Kramer. Okay, so maybe they should join the list. Maybe I messed up this week. Who knows? But yeah, that was our first KO. Waleed Sharks taking out Argentinian King. You also had Jordan Banjo on this card, taking out Tempo Arts via TKO in round 4. That is 4 for our non-Spanish speakers. Check this out. Oh God, did I just fuck it up? Did I not do the paste and go? I thought I did the paste and go. I guess I didn't. Look at this. Oh, the faceplant. I know you've seen the faceplant. Let's look at this again. Nice little faceplant there. Yeah. Get up. Right on then. Look at this. Oh no, not against the ropes. Not uppercuts against the ropes, and then the referee has to call it. I mean, you saw him faceplant twice before this, and you call it on the uppercut. That's why this knockout ain't joining no list. You should have called it on the first faceplant, ref. What are we doing? We saw 2 faceplants, and then he's like, let me stop it on this random uppercut that kind of glanced. It is what it is. It wasn't joining our list anyways, but guess what was joining our list? The knockout that was making rounds on social media. Okay, rounds and rounds and rounds on social media. Check out this. Jay Jones defeats Egypt Chris via KO, round 2. Check this out. Oh, double left hand and then the trip. Oh, shit. I didn't show it. Here we go. That's on me. I forgot to click to show it. Let's go right back. 1, 2, 3. I'm sorry that you didn't see what it, I get you not seeing the first two coming, but that third one should have had your head off the center line. All right, that third one should have definitely had your head off that center line. Like, what are we doing? What? Are we joking here? Like, really? That's crazy. That's crazy for her to just let that go like that. Like, come on, bro. Come on. Let's be real here. And then let's show. Oh, the way she falls. And then the way she kind of gets up but doesn't get up too. Oh, it's just brutal. It's just brutal, dude. Oh. Shout out to Egypt Chris for even taking the fight. Ugh. The flop. Sorry, I don't mean to laugh, but the flop. Oh my Lord, the flop. The flop was everything on that. The flop was absolutely everything. When was Misfits? I didn't know they had a card. I don't even remember when it was. I missed it. I had to go back and watch the shit. But yeah. How you got knocked the fuck out? Do I have the sound? Let me play it. Hold on. I think I got the sound for you. Where is it?
You got knocked the fuck out, man.
Oh Lord, she did. She did.
You got knocked the fuck out, man.
My Lord. She did. This was probably the worst knockout of the weekend. It was the most social media worthy knockout of the weekend by far. And shout out to Jay Jones, Olympic Jay Jones, getting a beautiful knockout over Egypt Chris, the singer. Egypt Chris. Other knockout we have to talk about. Will Anderson defeats Jake Cornish via KO, round 3. Let's look at this. This was on the same Misfits card, y'all. Look at this. In the corner, boom, right hand, left hook, sends him flying. Look at his leg. I'm sorry, why do I keep laughing today? I don't normally laugh at the KOs. Let's look at this again. Right hand, left hook, and flies into the ropes. And he's like, what the hell? My leg's underneath my ass? The fuck's going on? My breathing's slowed? He's like, what's going on? My body, I can't control it. And the ref's like, yeah, I don't think you should fight anymore. I don't think you should fight anymore. And I don't think you should either. That was a hell of a shot he just took. I don't think it's going to join our top 10 list, but a knockout again that I think we deserve to show, especially from this card. And the last knockout that I will show from this Misfits Duels 2 card. Oh, yeah. This had to be shown. Look at this guy. I don't even know what happened. He kind of just gave up. He kind of just gave up there. But that was Justin Irabola. He defeats James Springer via KO in round 4. And I think he just had enough. He just had enough. And, like, for some reason, the ref gives a little timeout. He's like, are you good, bro? But look at this. He just was cooked. He missed. He's like, fuck this shit, man. This boxing shit is too much. This boxing shit too hard, bro. What the fuck is this? That body shot was such a nice glancing shot. But yeah, shout out to Misfits Duel 2. It was a fantastic event. Provided us a lot of social media worthy KOs. And it was a fun card, man. I can't lie. It was a fun one. It was a fun one. It was a fun ass card, man. Actually, Tweety Bird's around her head. That was an early stoppage. Stop me, Rocket. None of these were early stoppages at all. Lazy with the star. Octopus says 1, 2, 3. Indeed. Damn. Right? It was just 1, 2. Take a pause. 3. Pow. Dropped her. And Lazy says she flopped like Ric Flair. Yeah, it looked like a WWE flop. She did the Flair flop. Can't believe you're openly showing the fights on screen. I'm reporting you. Hey, me Rocket, don't do that. This is the best show on the internet right now, okay? Hey, you got to keep this on the DL. All right? We can't report this. I've been reported twice already. Don't let it happen. All right? And then Lazy says made him sit crisscross applesauce, right? Sat him down like a kid in elementary school. My lordy. Octopus says, do we know what the MVP MMA show will be called yet? And Francis is fighting before Big Ronda, Big Gina? I don't think John would do that. I mean, he's got to show his respect, man. You got to pay homage to those that came before you, that paved the roads. Ronda was a huge part of the success of the UFC as a whole. Without the UFC success as a whole, the sport of MMA wouldn't be as big as it is right now. So, I could see why Francis conceded. I could see why, for sure. For surezies. We had a couple more boxing cards that provided some KOs. Not as many as the Misfits card, but we had a Butler versus Hiseni card midway through the week. I think this was on like Wednesday or something. I don't know. Nevertheless, we had a card that happened. It was Butler versus Hiseni. And in the main event, Stephen Butler, takes out Ramadan Hiseni by KO in round 2, 1 minute and 20 seconds. Now, this KO I think it deserves to join my top 10 list. I don't know about you guys. You let me know what you think about this about this KO. I thought it was gorgeous. Look at this. Even the setup, left hook. Look how he flops against those ropes. That was like a Poetan KO, brother. Look at how beautifully that looked. Like, it was gorgeously set up. The way he flops backwards. This has to be a top 10er. This is a top 10er for me. Look at that. Right hand over the top. Now he's fearing the right hand. Left hook. Flops like a Poetan left hook KO. That was Butler versus Hiseni. My Lord, what a KO. That's a top 10 for me. What do you guys think? I don't know. I thought it was pretty nice. Is Jalton on that MVP card with Ronda? Maybe he should be. Oliver says, oh no, I think he's got that selflessness or whatever you want to call it. I like Francis doing his thing again. And then always been a Francis supporter. I like the dude. I hope he did intimidate Dana. Stop. But yeah, that was the Butler versus Hiseni KO. We also had John Orbillo taking out Yomar Alamo by KO in round 5. This was another KO. This was the near KO. We'll show this first before we actually show the KO. But tell me what you think about this little sequence here. Ooh. You would have thought it would be over right there, right? That's not the end of the fight. Remember I said round 4. He gets back up. He somehow gets back up from this. Look at this combo. Oh, my Lord. That was 5 or 6 punches. And he gets back up from that. Yeah. He gets back up from that and back into this fight. And guess what he does? No, he doesn't win the fight. I got your hopes up. No, he doesn't win the fight. This is what happens. Look at these combos, man. Oh, it looked just like the overhand right that landed up against the ropes on the right-hand side. But, brother almost fell over. He's like, he's twitching and gyrating on the floor there. Yeah. John Orbillo's knockout. Yeah. That's got to be considered for top 10, at least. I don't know if it'll join our top 10, but it's considered. I got to keep one of the ladies in there. Honestly, it probably would have joined the top 10 if the first, God damn it, dropping my water. If the first sequence knocked him out. The second one wasn't as gorgeous because it was just one punch. But if the first one landed like that and knocked him out and he won the fight like that, it probably would have joined my top 10 list. But it was a nice overhand right. Simple punch. The way he fell to the ropes does add style points, but no, I don't think that knockout's gonna join my top 10. That body shot mid combo was nasty, right? And then right before the finish. Oh, man. So that knockout deserves to be talked about on the Butler versus Hiseni card. Also, Steve Claggett defeats Alejandro Frias Rodriguez via TKO round 2, 2 minutes and 13 seconds. Not as beautiful as our other KOs on this list, but let's show it. Oh. It's still a beautiful, nice little left hook that drops his opponent. Almost another cartoonish drop there, the way he fell. Let's be real. That was very cartoonish of a drop. And the referee had to call it there. But we have to take a look at this cartoonish drop one last time. The way he bounces back and then flops to his back. I mean, it was a slow KO, but that KO by Claggett had to be mentioned. Had to talk about it, had to show it. It happened on this card. And the last knockout that we'll show from this card is the Butler versus Hiseni. Sorry, this was an Absani knockout on the Butler versus Hiseni card. I believe this was on the same card. I could be tripping, but I believe it was. Oh, yeah, this is. I already showed this. This is John Orbia. Yeah, sorry. I already showed this one. Oh, and those were all the knockouts from Butler Hiseni. So, yeah, solid knockout entries. Maybe one of those, possibly two, will enter our top 10 list. I foresee one of them entering the list, but there was one last card that knockouts happened on. Guess which knockout it was? Guess which card it was? It just happened 2 days ago. Obviously, it's Zuffa Boxing 4. Okay, and you would think that Jai Opetaia would be on this card, in this lineup for knockouts, but he is not. He did not get a knockout win. He ended up getting a decision win. For those that are curious about how that card ended, allow me to let you know. Opetaia defeated Glanton via unanimous decision, 119-106 across the board. Then we had a knockout. Then we had Paulo Rubio defeating Adon Palma via unanimous decision, 77-73 2 times, and then a 76-74. We had another knockout. Then we had 4 straight decisions. There was decisions going to Joshua Juarez, Jacob Ramos, Brady Ochoa, and Emiliano Alvarado. Okay? So those are the decisions. But the knockouts are what we're here to talk about, aren't they? So let's talk about the 2 knockouts that happened on Zuffa Boxing 4, and they weren't the most beautiful knockouts either. All right, but first, let's talk about at welterweight. Ricardo Salas defeats Jesus Salardo via 8th round TKO. We got to show these quick because Zuffa Boxing is a little iffy on us showing their highlights. All right, just a little weird about it. We're going to show it quick. And all right, maybe we won't show it. Maybe Zuffa Boxing not down with the sickness today. Let's try with link 2. Zuffa Boxing is like, we need to shut that shit down early, bro. You ain't getting no shot. Let's try with link 2. There we go. All right. Nice little combo. And ooh, it was just, once the ref saw that one landed, he was like, oh, no. He stopped defending himself intelligently, and he had to call a halt to that bout. That was Ricardo Salas defeating Jesus Saracho via 8th round TKO. And the last one we'll talk about on Zuffa Boxing was the 9th round TKO from Vlad Panin. He takes out Shenard Bunch via 9th round KO. And our last knockout that we'll show this week. So please enjoy. He lands the right hook into a left straight, jabs to the body, and then barrage of strikes. And then referee's like, all right, that's it, buddy. You've been getting your ass kicked enough. That's it for you. All right. Nothing crazy about that KO, just the flurry of strikes. But those 2 knockouts had to be shown because they did happen on Zuffa Boxing, and I would be upset if I didn't show them to you. Okay? So, yes, Zuffa Boxing 4 had a couple of knockouts. Will they make the top list? I don't know. So, again, let me take a look at these comments. Octopus, I'm sick of you lording that top ranking over all of us. If you're special, fight me for my rankings, says Octopus to me, Rocket. And then this smoke emojis with Dakota. Love that. Did you know His Excellency Turkey Company owns 60% of Zuffa Boxing and TKO only owns 40%? Yeah, didn't they have a press conference addressing that? Yeah, so here are our best knockouts this year. So far, we had the list, and this is how it's changed. We're going to remove David Allen and Leo Ateng. Muhammad Alako will hold his spot, but Stephen Butler versus Ramadan Hiseni via 2nd round KO enters in the 7th spot. Brandon Poulard last week enters the 9th spot with his KO of Charles Scott Jr. via 1st round KO. And I'm going to show that knockout again for those that don't remember that knockout. Guys, this knockout of Brendan Poulard got of Charles Scott absolutely deserves to enter the list. I'm not even sure that I showed it last week. Maybe I did. Maybe I didn't. But here's the knockout. It had to join the top 10 spot. Okay? It just had to. It just had to. Look at this man absolutely obliterate him. Oh. Oh, we're going to show it again because we missed the first sequence. Okay, look at this. Oh, into the corner. He gets back up quick to his credit, but he just absolutely. And then that ending sequence with the flop backwards. Yep. And the theatrics on this angle. He's joining the top 10. He had to join the top 10 with that one. That was gorgeous. So, yes, again, our top 10 list is Figueroa Ball. Bruce Carrington defeats Carlos Castro via 9th round knockout. Dalton Smith defeats Subriel Matias via 5th round knockout in the 3 spot. At the 4 spot, Lorenzo Parra defeats Elijah Pierce via 2nd round KO. Bektemir Melikuziev defeats Senga Agbeko via 7th round KO. In the 5 spot, Keyshawn Davis defeats Jermaine Ortiz via 12th round KO in the 6 spot. Stephen Butler joins the list this week, defeating Ramadan Hiseni via 2nd round KO in the 7th spot. In the 8th spot, Muhammad Alakel defeats David Calabaro in the 2nd via 2nd round KO in the 8th spot. At the 9th spot, joining the top 10 list, Brandon Poulard defeats Charles Scott Jr. via 1st round KO. And in the 10th spot, Daniel Perkins defeats Shay Canali via 6th round TKO. Maybe next week, Daniel Perkins loses her spot to Jade Jones. Who knows? But those are our top 10 knockouts for MMA and boxing this year. I hope you guys enjoyed them. If you don't like the list, please voice your opinion in the comments, in the chat below. Everything you want to do, man. Maybe your voice matters and it'll change it by next week. Maybe I'll see enough and it'll push it next week. So voice your opinion on those knockouts, on those KOs. If you think the top 10 suffices for either MMA or boxing, appreciate you guys for checking it out. But now we got to talk about next week. We got to talk about next week. We got some knockouts next week to talk about, don't we? We got some picks on UFC Vegas 114 to talk about, don't we? Yes, we do. Now, strictly speaking of this card, let me bring the chat back in too. Chat matters. Chat matters. Not going to lie, I've been enjoying these Zuffa Boxing cards. I skipped the first 2 cards because I didn't want to support them, but it's been fun. Yeah, shout out to Zuffa Boxing. Wow, he must be let excellent with that name. He must be pretty excellent with that name. Shannon Briggs should be on that list. That man has his sights targeted for that one, accurate as hell. And then UFC Vegas this weekend has a chance of plenty of knockouts. That's what I'm saying. I'm not giving out a specific UFC knockout for this card just yet. But we're going to look through the entire card right now, and we're going to see which we think could end a knockout. Now, obviously, Emmett versus Vallejos is a main event where a knockout is entirely possible. Emmett in the older parts of his career. Vallejos heavy-handed. Now let's take a look at the top of the card and we'll go down. Usually we go bottom up. Let's go top down. Okay. Let's start with Vallejos and Josh Emmett. Maybe I should remove the chat for this. I'll pay attention to the chat, but I'm going to remove it. Okay. Just so we can show the stats and stuff. The win by alone on Kevin Vallejos with how old Josh Emmett is. Josh Emmett was recently finished as well. 71% for Kevin Vallejos. This will be a 5-round fight, which means more time to find the KO on a young, hungry guy coming forward on an older guy. Now, that being said, I do think Emmett can find the decision because look at that. 53% of the time, Emmett in his wins go the distance. And in his losses, a lot of the time, he goes the distance as well. So that should be noted. But Kevin Vallejos, KO, totally in play. Don't even look at this fight because we're not feeling that Lemos KO. Now, if you're feeling a Jillian Robertson KO from the mount because she can't submit Lemos for some reason, well, that's not the worst, 19%. But I do think if she can't submit her, it's going the distance, as you can see with this 25% here. All right. But Amanda Lemos, I don't think she has a chance to knock out Jillian Robertson. Let's be honest. She's going to be on her back so long. Big boys. You know how I feel about them light heavyweights. If it doesn't end in under 1.5, it's going the distance, right? But look at those KO ratios. Oh, yeah. We know how many times Kutalaba been knocked out. It's been a hell of a lot. All right. Umar C, 42%. The majority of his wins are by KO. Okay, he has been screwed on the cards before. All right, strictly speaking of Umar C, let me take a little gander here. Little gander. Umar C. Was he the one that got the draw, or was that the dude from Nick Six Gym? Oh, it was the dude from Nick Six Gym. It wasn't him. Okay. But his last win for Umar C, he got punched. Oh, it was him. He got the Alonzo Menafield fight. Yeah. He was probably supposed to win that fight. He lost to Menafield. Umar C did. Okay, I feel like some wonky shit happened to that fight, like a point taken or something like that. So Umar C doesn't like to go to the cards. At his very next fight, takes his opponent, knocks him out from the back mount. Okay, 42% knockout ratio. Also, Ion Cutelaba, 68% of his wins are by knockout, and a lot of his losses are by knockout. So that fight has high knockout ability. Maybe Umar C joins our knockout parlay. Okay. Also, this fight, check out our boys, Jose Miguel Delgado, Andre Fili, high knockouts, 40%. Not a majority of his fights, but still high enough where we got to pay attention. And 60% for Delgado. Now, Fili doesn't really get knocked out a lot of the time. We have seen him knocked out a couple times. Okay, more than a couple, let's say. But Jose Delgado, that's where we get scared. He only has 2 losses. Okay. Gonna be tough. The next fight, I'm just gonna skip over. We don't even need to. All right. I mean, you think just looking at their photos, do you think this guy's taking out Harry Hardwick? Strictly speaking, yes, he is. 86%. What? Like, look at all the knockout ability on this card, guys. I'm just gonna keep going. So you can see the knockout ability on this card. 62%, 86%. Like, look at this. We could just keep going. Charles Johnson, Bruno Silva. Look at this. These guys probably the least chance, also because they're little flyweights. But Charles Johnson, we've seen him knock out so many guys. He's got a near 50% knockout ratio, and Bruno's got a 40% knockout ratio. So, I mean, even that fight has knockout ability. I feel like it's knockout fest. If you have like a fucking 6-fight knockout parlay, you might cash this shit. All right? Shout out to our boy Eric Anders, never in a boring fight. Now, Brad Tavares likes to go the distance. I see a Tavares distance prop here. Okay? So not so much there. Same thing with Chris Curtis. This could be a close fight because the grappling of Orbai, Chris Curtis, sometimes hard to finish. All right, but 53% of his wins by KO, 47% of Orobai's wins by KO. Need I keep going? Balaji Oki, we know what the fuck Balaji do. Look at this. 50% of his wins by KO. His opponent, 62% of his wins by KO. Guys, the clubber parlay has a very high possibility of going. And we might just strictly do a UFC one. We might not even include the boxing. We might have to do a boxing knockout clubber and a UFC knockout clubber. Hopefully we get some decent odds. Luan Lacerda will get a sub. I like him to get a sub. This fight has no knockout ability. I repeat, no knockout ability. Luan Lacerda about to hop on that back and yank this man's neck. Okay? 85% Luan Lacerda sub. He's probably going to be in our subber parlay, as will our girl Jillian Robertson over Amanda Lemos. That's probably the subber parlay this week, probably a 2-legger. But we also have Bia Mesquita and Rendon here. It's a girl fight, guys. Yeah, no knockout ability. All right. Elijah Smith got that slam KO in Asia. We've seen him do that. Okay, 56% of his wins are by knockout. He gets the knockout by any means. He even gets knockouts grappling, bro. Shout out to our boy Elijah Smith. We might be betting his KO. So shout out to him. And then last but not least, the ladies. We know Sam Hughes got some hands on her. Shout out to Sam Hughes, one of those ladies that actually pulls off a KO every now and then. And then her opponent, Pierre Rodriguez, she got some heavy hands too. Almost half her wins by knockout. But no, we're sane, so we won't be betting that fight to go the distance. But yeah, there's a few fights on this card that have knockout ability. But the guys I'm probably rocking with, it's probably going to be Umar C, to be honest. Umar C. It's probably going to be Elijah Smith. Let's be real. and it's probably going to be maybe Kevin Vallejos. Probably not Kevin Vallejos. I don't trust the new guy, Marwan Rahiki, but he will probably knock out Harry Hardwick. You know, I mean, just look at Harry Hardwick. And then, no offense to Harry Hardwick. The Petrino Asplin fight seems like a fight that should be a knockout, but will go the distance. I feel like Asplin just puts pace on him, and it's hard for him to knock out Petrino, and Petrino just can't land the finishing shot on Asplin type shit. So it is a heavyweight bout, though. So that fight definitely has high knockout ability. But yeah, those are the fights that I see ending in knockout. It would be the Asplin Petrino fight, the Rahiki Hardwick fight with a Rahiki KO, possibly the Fili Delgado fight. Either way, the Umar C knockout will be entering, and I'm iffy on the Vallejos knockout. I hate ending my night with a knockout prop, because if it doesn't happen, it goes the distance. I'm sitting here just pissed off at the end of the night, you know. So, and then Elijah Smith, you know, he had that beautiful slam KO. Half of his wins are by KO. That should be considered. So those are all my picks for knockouts on the UFC Vegas 114 card. That's headlined by Josh Emmett and Kevin Vallejos. All right. As for Arnold Barboza and Kenneth Sims Jr., I actually don't think that main event will end in KO. The Skinwalker, says Nikki V. What up, Nikki V? How you feeling? Alonzo destroyed Umar C. I think Josh should work on his power again this camp. It worked out last time. Stop. Hey, what up, Nikki V? Says, yo, Gav, what up? If Emmett, what is CP units exactly? I watched a little bit last week, but don't understand what it is exactly. Me Rocket, CP units is a simulation of the fights. So we simulate the fights, and whatever happens in the simulation, we take those bets in real life. And last week, it gave us Bobby Green TKO, and we cashed on it. This week, it gave us a whole bunch of different ones, and it didn't work out this week. You know, Max didn't get the win. René de Ritter didn't get the win. The only one that was right was the Rosas decision, to be honest, because it had Johnson KO round 2, and it was Dober KO round 2. You know, but a lot of times it is kind of correct. So we like to take those bets and just let it fly. We usually end up on units by the end of the year by taking those bets. Simulation actually works. Alonzo destroyed Umar C. Sick fight, and Fili has the best nickname. I still believe it. Emmett, the Skinwalker. Good fight for Chris, I hope. Yeah, Oral buys a motherfucker on that back. I'm going to need someone to reach out to that female boxer you showed earlier. That 1, 2, 3, the other girl to sleep. We need her in MMA. Laugh out loud, says Octopus. I mean, yeah, that was Jade. That was Jade Jones, I believe her name is. And it's all the Zuffa Stadium. It's a great place for fight cards, right? Great place. I love Zuffa Boxing. I'm Zuffa Boxing all day. Now for the Arnold Barboza and Kenneth Sims card. Not a lot of knockouts on this card, but the Arnold Barboza Jr. fight, I think that fight ends in decision. Barboza has 11 knockouts and 21 decisions. He's 32-1. Okay, 21 decisions for Arnold Barboza Jr. And then Sims is 22-3. He only has 8 KOs on his record. So what, 14 decisions on his record? So yeah, I like this fight to go long. I like it to go the distance. Probably a Barboza decision, in my opinion. It could be an upset. Taking the fight to go the distance might be your best bet. But the knockout that I see on this card is from our girl Gabby Fundora. Okay, for a number of reasons. Get this: Gabby is 17-0 with 1 no contest. She is 9 KOs, so a little over half of her wins are by KO. She's only 23 years of age. She's 5'9". She has a crazy long reach. I believe it was like 60 something, right? And her advantage on her opponent in reach, I believe, is over 10 inches. Keep this in mind. Her opponent's 10-2 with 5 KOs. All right, so she'll wade into the fire. The only thing is that both of her losses are by decision. So she's never been KO'd. But get this. Her opponent's only 5'2". So she has a 7-inch height advantage. We know in boxing that's pretty good. Ask Sebastian. And her opponent is 43 years old. She's 19 years younger than her opponent. Gabby is 23. Her opponent, she's 20 years younger. Gabby is 23. Her opponent is 43. 20-year age gap. 10-inch reach disadvantage. 7 inch height disadvantage. This is a knockout just because she's overwhelmed and can't fucking find a strike to land on Gabby. This is a knockout. Gabby Fundora KO. Book it. All right. Arnold Barboza Jr., Kenneth Sims card. That's the co-main. Gabby Fundora KO, brother. Gabby Fundora KO. Remember, I told you this. And go cash. Run to the fucking books and put it in now. Run. Run. It's cash. It's free money. Gabby Fundora KO. 5'2" and 43. I know. Crazy, right, Nikki V? What the fuck, bro? Exactly. I'm running to the books and putting in my Gabby Fundora KO. Last but not least, the last card that we'll talk about upcoming this weekend with knockout ability, James Dickens taking on Anthony Cacace. All right, another DAZN card. Okay, let's look at these. Cacace. Well, let's look at Dickens. Dickens is 36-5 with 15 KOs, so 21 decisions. He's been KO'd 4 times, though. So in his 5 losses, he's been KO'd 4 times. All right, Cacace, 24-1. Only 9 KOs. I know, only 9 KOs. But a lot of the times when he gets his KO, it's in the rounds 9 through 12. Keep in mind. And when Dickens loses, it's in the later rounds. So perfect pairing there. All right. And 9 KOs, that's solid enough. People want to get their double-digit KOs. Seeing a guy that's been KO'd 4 times, you got to think Cacace's like, I want to get a KO in this one. So I would go with the Cacace KO in this one as well. Cacace, I would pair those. Gabby Fundora KO, Cacace TKO. It could be a Cacace decision, don't get me wrong, but if you're doing Cacace TKO, it's probably 9 through 12. So I go with Cacace TKO 9 through 12, and that would be my TKO for the James Dickens versus Anthony Cacace card. So for those looking for a clubber parlay of the week, we can do 2 things with it. We can keep it UFC with one. We could do just a boxing one with the other, or we could combine them. If we were doing a UFC one, I gave you my UFC ones. You know, I gave you the Umar C, Elijah Smith, and fight and knockout in the Feely fight and in the, who was it? In the Petrino Asplin fight. Okay, so that would be my clubber parlay for just UFC. But if we're doing clubber parlay, the card in whole or the entire weekend, I would probably do Umar C TKO, Gabby Fundora TKO, Cacace TKO. Or I would do like Umar C TKO, Asplin Petrino to end in TKO. Maybe. And then Gabby Fundora is the only KO that I'm so confident in. Gabby Fundora KO is happening. So Gabby Fundora is in my clubber KO parlay of the week, no matter what. Cacace is iffy. Umar C is probably going to be joining my clubber KO parlay of the week. And then we're going to have one more. But again, I put out the clubber KO parlay on Friday, sometimes Saturday morning. Okay, so it's not finalized till then. Again, we have a lot of things to look at before we officially put it in. We got to look at weigh-ins. We got to look at fight week. We got to make sure all the fighters make it to the fight because we'd hate to put in a clubber parlay this early and have it die. And again, the odds aren't even out on most of these fights. It's fucking Tuesday, guys. So, this is the clubber parlay that we are crafting for this week. So be on the lookout. We do put it out on social. If you're not following on social, you should be. Follow One More Round Fights. God damn it, fucking chat. Follow One More Round Fights. Scan that QR code to subscribe to the YouTube. But that's right there. That's how you catch us on socials. We put them out all on those. One More Round F8, One More Round Fights everywhere except for X, okay? And that's how you get the parlays for the week. I hope you guys enjoyed this week. Don't forget to tune in. Don't forget to tune in. We still have 2 more shows this week. One more show. Well, yeah, technically, we still have 2 more shows this week. We have Hump Day tomorrow. Okay, we'll look at our grapplers over the week from RIZIN and UFC Vegas. UFC 326. Then we will look ahead to the grapplers of UFC Vegas 114. So submission props. Shout out to Jillian Robertson. Shout out to Luan Lacerda. Okay. And then we craft ourselves a suburb parlay and get ready for CP units on Friday. I don't know if Kevin Vallejos will be added to the game by the end of the week. Maybe we'll get a 2 fight CP units, but right now it's just looking like Amanda Lemos and Jillian Robertson And you could bet your ass on that CP units. I'm hoping for a Jillian Robertson sub. You can bet your ass. That's what I'm hoping for. That or decision. All right. I need me a good Jilly bet this week. But please tune into the rest of the shows this week. I hope you guys liked the programming. Again, if you like it, like the video on your way out of here. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Scan this QR code right there. We're trying to get to 800. We're trying to get to 7075 by the end of the stream. So please, if you haven't subscribed to the channel on YouTube, please flash your camera at that QR code. It'll bring you right to the YouTube, and all you got to do is click subscribe. All right. And hey, your life's going to get better. I promise you, your life's going to get better. The second you subscribe to this channel, good things will start happening. You'll start seeing things like fucking Rain Man. All right. And that's it. I'm getting out of here. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. Shout out to you guys. Nikki V says, hey, Gav, did you watch the show? Welcome to Derry. I finally did, and I loved it. I loved it, Nikki V. I loved Welcome to Derry. I finished the whole thing. I saw it till the end. Solid show. I like how they get it to the next generation at the end. It's dope, man. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot. Yeah, thanks for putting that one on my radar. Appreciate you. He looks at fighters and sees numbers, says Octopus. Rain Man Gav. I appreciate you guys. All right, so I'll see you guys tomorrow for Hump Day. Come on back. Appreciate all my A1s, my day ones in the chat. Nikki V, Octopus, Meat Rocket, Cosmo. Who am I missing? Lazy Bed. I said Meat Rocket, right? I know I said Meat Rocket. Fuck, it keeps moving on me. Kevmo. Manich was here. Shout out to Manich, my guy. I'm sure a bunch of other people were pulling up late. You know, Richland, John Ray, all the guys. Tanner. Appreciate you all, guys. Enjoy the rest of your week. Enjoy the rest of your day. I will see you guys tomorrow for Hump Day. I give you guys the combat sports fight week in totality, the fight sphere, all that shit, MMA and boxing, tips, picks, parlays, tricks, you know, all that shit. And I hope you guys enjoy this iteration of TKO Tuesday post UFC 326. I'm out. Peace.
You got knocked the fuck out, man.